I'm going to talk today about Tertullian's doctrinal mistakes. And I want you to pay close attention because many people say that it was Tertullian who gave us the Trinity. Of course, I debunked that years ago when I showed and I proved that it was Theophilus of Antioch who first gave us the Trinity. But nonetheless, let's play this game that Tertullian is the one that gave us the Trinity. Well, was Tertullian a very powerful theologian, or was he making mistake after mistake? Let's look at the evidence. On page 246, Tertullian says, "Indeed, heresies are themselves instigated by philosophy." Tertullian was saying that he understood that philosophy doesn't give us anything but heresies. Yet it is philosophy that he maintains and teaches that gave us the Trinity. On page 505, Tertullian speaks highly of Valentinus, the heretic or the Gnostic. And it says Valentinus had expected to become a bishop because he was an able man, both in genius and eloquence. But he broke away from the Church of the True Faith. The Church of the True Faith. So he broke away from the Catholic Church when they didn't elect him as Pope or Bishop. So Tertullian here is talking highly about Valentinus, the Gnostic. But here's the thing. When Christians started comparing Tertullian to Valentinus, he downplayed it. And he even said that truth must not therefore refrain from the use of such a term. He was talking about Valentinus' teaching on prolations and emanations, which they were saying that Tertullian was no different. He was doing the same thing. Now, when Christians attack Tertullian, saying that he was doing the same thing as Valentinus, teaching emanations and prolations, you know what his answer was on page 603? Never mind heresy when in any point it mimics the truth. On page 597, Tertullian says something that's very ridiculous. Ridiculous. It says, in various ways has the devil rivaled and resisted the truth. Sometimes his aim has been to destroy the truth by defending it. When have you ever heard of such a thing? That the devil defends the truth to defend it? No, the devil doesn't do that. The devil twists the truth. He'll give you some truth mixed with a lie. But never has Satan in all of history defended the truth so that he could destroy it. This was totally wrong on the side of Tertullian. It makes no sense, and it shows that he was not a strong biblical Christian, but more of a philosopher. Now listen to this, page 598. Him we believe to have been sent by the Father, speaking about the Son, into the Virgin, and to have been born of her. In other words, he believed like the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha teaches that the Son came into Mary. Not the word spoken by God, but the actual person or separate divine person of the Son came inside of Mary. This is the Apocrypha, and this is not Bible. It's false as can be. On the following pages, Tertullian lets us know something very interesting. It's page 598, 599, and so forth, 600. He teaches that the majority of believers are startled at the dispensation of the 3-in-1 on the ground that their very rule of faith withdraws them from the world's plurality of gods to the one only true God. So there Tertullian is admitting that the majority of Christians did not accept the Trinity. They rejected it because it violated the rule of faith, which is that God is one, monotheism, Jewish monotheism, and not the plurality of the Gentiles, which is polytheism. And it keeps going on. They constantly are throwing out against us that we're preachers of 2 gods and 3 gods. So there Tertullian is admitting that they were calling him out as being polytheistic and not following the rule of faith. And then he says on page 599, these believers, they maintain the monarchy. That's why they were called monarchian, because they believed that it was only one God, and you could not divide God into several other gods. On page 600, Tertullian compares, or reveals honestly, that the Word of God, the way they teach the Logos, they took it directly from the Greeks. And so it is philosophy. This reason is its own thought, which the Greeks call Logos, by which term we also designate the Word. And therefore it is now usual with our own people to say that the Word was in the beginning with God, although it would be more suitable to regard reason as the more ancient. So he puts both the Greek Logos with reason, and he says that that's what we teach as being the Word or the pre-existing Christ. So he is admitting that they're taking in the Logos from the Greeks. And of course, I've always taught that he took the Logos from Philo of Alexandria. And so it keeps going on and on. Then he also points to the Word and Sophia, wisdom, being one and the same thing on page 601. Incredible as it is. And then he says something really ugly on page 601. Because alone begotten of God in a way peculiar to himself from the womb of his own heart. This is not Bible. This is something that he made up, or he took it from philosophy, but it is not Bible. It is totally wrong to say that God has a womb. So there you have some of the mistakes that Tertullian made. I can give you many more, but this is enough to say that how can we trust a theologian like Tertullian when he was wrong about so many things? I pray this video will help you to open up your eyes that the Trinity came from philosophy. The Logos came from Greek philosophy. The Greek Logos was borrowed and placed into John 1:1 to teach a pre-existent Christ. And the Trinity came to us through Philo of Alexandria. It went on into the Gnostics, and from the Gnostics it passed on to the Catholic Church.